Hello, so welcome to this video for COMP3218, Game Design and Development at the University of Southampton. My name is Dave Millard, I'm one of the lecturers on the course, and I'm here with...
Hi, I'm Bob Remington, and I am one of the demonstrators on the course.
So we're going to have a look at a couple of videos for the second coursework that the students have handed in. Bob, do you want to say a little bit about what we asked the students to do?
Sure thing, Dave. We asked the students to develop a game prototype that contains a story engine, and that story engine needs to drive a branching interactive narrative, and we asked them to design it inspired by one of three stories from Aesop's fables.
Thanks very much. Okay, well, let's get on and have a look at our first game. So, our first game is called Panther. You saw in the expo.
Oh,
Here
yes, I recognise this one.
So a nice intro screen. I like the panther and its wiggly tail wandering about. That's nice.
I immediately love the wiggly tail and pleasant music as well.
Yeah, let's have a look at the controls. So I like the fact they haven't completely forgotten the stuff from the first coursework, and we've actually got some controls and stuff to tell us what to do. So whilst to move around, space or left click to attack, I'm guessing. That's the little animation. E to talk to random NPCs, and F or right click to eat food.
I see.
Shift to run, possibly?
Yeah, it looks like it's got a slightly different animation there, I guess.
So okay, so I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure I'm going to remember all that, but we'll figure it out as we go. Let's play the game.
I've got a reminder there for you that E will be interaction.
Interact with the old panther. I've become very weak. I can't even stand anymore. Okay. Winter season starts in 3 days, and we'll have to stay in this cave until the freeze ends. I wonder if I can progress the text. Let's try that. Yes, look at that. That's what we like.
Nice.
You will need to hunt food for the both of us. You can find deer in the forest or sheep in the village. Sheep are easier to catch, but villagers will be upset if you steal from them. If you collect at least 3 food each day, we will have enough to last us the winter. Just remember to think about the consequences of where you choose to hunt. Make sure to be back with the 3 food before night time. I will be waiting here for you. Good luck and be safe out there. Okay, so we've got the timer is already going. Going up.
Looking down.
Days until winter, and then we've got food 0, reputation, health, and stamina. Right,
Yeah. From the interaction, I think you already get an idea of what the from the old Panthers discussion. I think you already get an idea of what kind of choices you've got here. I do like his fluffy ears a lot.
That is good. Okay, so here we are. All right, so
Got a little signpost there.
So I having kind of moaned a little bit that gave me all the stuff at the beginning. You're right there. They are reminding me to interact with stuff, so that's good. Cave is the northwest, villages to the south, forest is to the northeast. So cave's where we come from. So what do you reckon? Should we go to the village or should we go to the forest?
Ooh, yeah. Let's go south.
That was my pounce. So that was the village. So that's the sheep, right?
Yes, I think so. There you go. There's a little sheepo. Ooh.
See the panther around here for a while. They seem very calm.
Yeah, I mean he is a veterinarian.
That thing was a right. Very friendly. You could help us out. There are far too many deer in the forest. They're eating all of the plants, and the other animals are suffering. By keeping the deer population down, that would be great. Oops, I think I might accidentally just attacked him. Well, I could do that. So shall I? I mean, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, there is a delicious looking sheep right there, but
yeah,
you're halfway through the day already. It's tricky.
Yeah. Can I eat a sheep? Yeah, I got a sheep. Oops. Oh dear, he's hitting me with a stick.
Oh no!
Run. I can run. Hey.
Run away!
Sheep.
Ooh, more sheep.
Hi. Oh no! I got stuck behind.
Oh no, he's still coming for you. You're gonna have.
I
think you're gonna have to hunt and run at the same time.
Well, there weren't any sheep up here, were there? That's the problem. I've got a horrible feeling I'm not going to be able to go up and get any deer, so I'm going to try and get the sheep down here. That's it. Have I got enough yet?
I
No.
I like the pouncing animation, I must say. I think it's quite cute.
This is probably a bad idea. Do it next to the guard. Ow, 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 ow. We go, run away.
Okay, you've got your 3 food. Run!
Yeah, unfortunately, I need my stamina to run. There we go.
It's true, it's true.
It's quite well balanced. It's like so that I go faster. I go faster when the guards when I'm running, but not when I'm walking, and my stamina runs down.
Yeah,
so
the guards can catch you.
So that's actually quite a nice way to balance it out. Right, here we go. So I presume I go and give the food to the panther. Excellent work. This will come in handy. You should rest now, so you're ready to hunt again tomorrow. Good night. There we go. So we're back to food 0. My reputation's still quite low.
Yeah, I think that'll be all the sheep you ate.
Can I exit, or do I have to? I think I have to speak to the.
I think you might have to speak to him.
So drawing in, you will have less time before sunset. Make sure you still collect 3 food. Good luck.
Hope you're making wise decisions.
Well, so do you think the villagers will forgive me if I go and eat? Should we go and eat some deer, maybe?
Let's go. Yeah, let's find out. I see there's like a big old cracks appeared in the floor there.
I think that was there before. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, there's a goblin in a bush.
Oh, he looks fine.
Some food. The deer in this forest are fast, so you need to be clever if you want to catch them. Eating food will quickly boost your stamina. If you time it right, this allows you to pounce multiple times in a row. Villagers will notice you should to get you started, right? Okay, well, I've already done that. That's a very helpful goblin.
That's a very helpful goblin.
So this is lovely. I love this effect when you're in the bushes.
I am a big fan of the little tail in the
The tail
bushes.
sticks out. That's really nicely done.
It's incredibly cute.
So there's the deer.
Oh.
So the deer I can't catch, but if I go in the bushes, they don't see me. I'm guessing. Yeah, there we go.
It's true. They do not.
Do you think I'm close enough?
I reckon you can probably get there. You can sort of herd them, which is quite handy. Hey.
Yeah. So I got one.
Nice. Oh, he's running.
To kind of get them near to the bushes, and then there you are. Bush. Then there we go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, nearly.
Hey, come back.
No. They are quite tricky to catch, the deer.
Again, it's quite nicely balanced, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not easy at all to catch them.
What I like is that the game of catching sheep in the village and the game of catching deer in the wood, like they've got the same mechanics, but they feel like different games.
Yes, because I'm basically stalking in one and then sort of evading in the other.
Exactly.
So,
like it's not the same game both times. It's even though the mechanics are the same, it actively feels like a different gameplay experience, which I think is clever and
it works
well done.
really well. So I noticed my reputation shot up.
It really has. It's almost like you never killed any sheep at all.
That was not that big before. I'm sure of it.
The witch?
The big
No,
crack
I
on
don't
the
think so
floor.
either. Yeah.
Right. Well, I only just made that, but there we go. Must be a natural hunter. Why, thank you. Tomorrow will be your last chance to collect food before the big freeze. Make sure to get some rest. Okay, so here we go. So, what do you reckon today?
Which
Do
way?
you reckon?
Oh, I'm such a goody two shoes. I always am
Should we go and get the
pro deer.
We might not make it. Maybe I should. I've done this wrong way round, haven't I? I should have hunted deer the first 2 days.
Oh yeah, and then the last day because it's even shorter.
Yeah. Although I guess you wouldn't get time to mend your reputation.
That's true.
All right, make to the account. All right, let's go.
Okay.
We haven't got time to. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that is.
It's definitely bigger.
Definitely getting bigger. Okay.
Got no time to talk to you today, Mr. Goblin. We've got deer to catch. Oh,
Yeah. Oh my God! It ran away. I cornered it. Can I? Oh no! I'm going to leave, aren't I? If I do that. Oh, but I got
aha!
it.
You got him though.
I got it. Right. Okay. Your stamina recovers really nicely and quickly as well.
Yeah, that again feels well balanced. You can run to get around, and then quickly regain enough to do some hunting.
Escaped.
Well done. Oh, and one with half a health bar left. I reckon with a bit of herding,
Yeah,
you'll
I
be
find
all
he's
right.
slower though. That's the problem. Come on, come on. Where's he gone? So I
Yeah,
almost wish I almost wish you couldn't do this actually, because
yeah, the fact that it's kind of odd that you can't see them in the trees is kind of a
yeah,
you got him because you just
that's
kind of like pounce around
yeah.
for a bit and you're pretty much guaranteed, but it's sort of
It's
because you
much
can't see the pounce, it doesn't feel
yeah.
finessed.
It's much less satisfying, isn't it?
Mm.
But I'm completely with you that it's a really nice. Oh, oh dear.
Oh no, you're falling in a pit.
Oh, that poor panther has fallen into a sinkhole. We must help it. Oh yeah, that sounds reasonable. Catch this rope. Uh, it's your excellent reputation with the villagers. They rescue you from the sinkhole and follow you back to the cave where they treat old Panther for his injuries. At last, old Panther can stand again. The end. Oh,
Hooray!
hey, we got the good ending. Right.
Well done.
So what I'll do is I'll go through and play again, but this time I'm going to be like the sheep monster, basically. And let's
Okay,
see what
get those
happens.
sheep.
And in the meantime, we can start going through our criteria, I
Yeah,
guess.
let's do it.
So first up would be presentation, presumably.
Presentation. I think the presentation is very nice. I think it all, you know, works together. It looks good. It sounds nice. The things like the things like the stamina, reputation, and health
Yeah,
bar, along with the days until winter and so on,
yeah,
are nice and clearly represented with different colored bars.
yeah. I think the information design really good. The only thing that I'm not quite sure about is this clock. What's the clock doing?
I mean, it's the time of day. I'm pretty sure, but it sort of is
Okay,
performing
so
the same duty as the
as the
bar.
bar, yeah. Okay.
Mm,
So that's my only criticism for the info is that it's odd that one goes up and one goes down.
mm.
But otherwise, I think the information design's really nice. So it's even little things like the panther's tail in the bushes, right? So
Yeah,
just
yeah
showing
the
you where you
things
are and which direction you're
yeah
pointing in.
like it's all very functional, and then there are also moments of absolute of like quite charming extra detail, like the tail in the bushes, and when you go
Yeah.
into the bushes, there's that sort of wiggling bush effect, which yeah, just genuinely quite charming. Ooh, I see you also
Oh no!
gave bit
Ow!
to the
Ow!
villagers
Ow!
there as well.
Ow! Way! Oh no!
Oh no,
That's
your
oh no!
stamina.
That's bad.
Oh
It's
no,
bad. It's bad. All after me. This is what makes it difficult. Is if your stamina's too low, you can't pounce.
indeed. Okay, cool. Two
Oh,
food.
oh!
Oh, you are dead.
I died. This run through
Oh, that
didn't
is
go so
possibly the
well.
worst ending.
Passed away from starvation.
Oh,
Look at the
look at
flies.
his little green stink lines.
Sorry about that.
Oh dear.
Oh,
So, do
unfortunate.
you think that the combination of those, I think we're definitely firmly in the good category at least.
Yeah, we're
But
definitely.
do you
I
think
mean,
this is?
I would
Do you
say
think it?
so. So excellent is appealing. I think it's appealing. I think they've,
Mm,
I think they've done a really nice job, and it's all those little touches, the
mm,
consistency as well. So like even little
mm,
things like this isn't like a default font. It's a kind of a particular font. It matches
mm.
the tutorial fonts. All the sprites are consistent. Um, the the information design is very good. The music is very good. Yeah, I think they've done a nice job. I would put it at the excellent category. I think.
I agree with that. I think it is complete, effective, and appealing, and quite impactful overall.
Yeah, I
Yes.
mean, there's nothing particularly novel here, so I don't think we could put it up higher than that. But yeah,
Yeah.
really nice job. Very very nice
Yeah,
design.
I think it's been very well implemented. As you say, it's not, you know, world changing, which, as you say, limits it from the prize worthy sort of category, but it is overall very effective. Um,
Sheep, right?
I quite like that the sheep playing it sheep mode isn't too much easier than playing it deer mode, um, because you still have this being straight up attacked side of things. Well done. Oh, look, a panther.
Not going well.
Get him,
It really
get
isn't
him.
going- I can't.
No,
I run out of
ouch.
stamina. Oh, I
Oh,
killed
no.
again. I don't know if this is
Man,
going to work. By
it is
my bad
shockingly
run.
hard to be a sheep monster.
It's quite. I think my problem there was all the sheep were up with the guards at the top.
Yeah, I think maybe if you explore around a bit, there'll be a bit of a sheep corral, maybe.
Maybe I can get easier sheep.
Yeah, where you can jump out of bushes and stuff and do some sneaking.
So I
Meaningful
guess-
play.
Yeah. So I mean I have to say I think you really got it like completely right when you said what's nice about it is the mechanics are the same, but the two areas are essentially different games. One is a kind of evade game, which is this one,
Mm-hmm.
and the other one is a kind of sneak type game,
Mm-hmm.
and that works very well. Oh, he came out of the bushes. I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, I can't believe he saw you. Rude. So I think in terms of meaningful play, again, they've done a good job. Let's see. So the various mechanics work. Sometimes the only thing that I found
Right.
a little bit unintuitive in terms of the mechanics and play in this was that was kind of the use food.
Yes,
Button.
in fact,
Because-
I haven't done it yet, and I was
Yeah.
just thinking that I thought, I could use the food to. I think the
You can
problem
use
is
the food to sort of double leap and stuff, but it feels a little bit clunky.
Yeah.
When I was playing it, I did accidentally use it by straight up button mashing and was like, why is my food gone? Oh no.
yeah,
Um,
and also because your goal is to collect the food, even though you're spending half the food, it feels like quite an expensive thing to do. I wonder if
I'm not sure there's quite enough risk reward payoff there.
maybe it would have been better to have kind of like a power up that was available just lying around somewhere that replenished your. Well, I've got low reputation, so they're straight after me. Look. Maybe that would have been a more effective way of doing it.
Nonetheless, I still think this is probably overall on the good easily in the or comfortably in the good category because
Run away.
because of some of this interplay where you are getting the food and the food and then villagers come and get you and you can watch your reputation go down and vice versa when you're in the woods chasing the deer. I think that all works together real nicely.
I mean, what would be the excellent category for?
Excellent there is fun. So a higher complexity with complementary mechanics, intuitive controls with no significant bugs.
So I think they're almost there, right? And I would describe it as quite fun. And the controls are basically intuitive. There's maybe lacking a little bit of mechanical complexity, but I'd say they're kind of they're on the way there.
Could we put it potentially then between good and excellent?
I think that would be fair.
Yeah. Okay, so while you finish up your sheep
last.
menacing run, I will bring up their story engine page.
Yeah. So let's us have a think about it a minute. So this is basically whether the story world and the game world have an impact on one another.
I do want to see how the falling into a pit storyline resolves now that you've been a sheep botherer.
I don't know if I'm going to get there. I'm going to have to run away. I think.
Oh.
Hey,
But
Kill me.
I definitely feel like the two things are interacting and in different ways already. So game world to story to
Yeah, so actually this is kind of interesting, right? So this is going to be very difficult for me to think and try to play this sheep hunting game at the same time.
Okay, you do your last sheep day, and I will just quietly read.
Where's all the sheep gone? There's no sheep! Away! Oh no, I see two.
Nearly.
Come on! Oh, I had to do my thing. Ah, eat some food now. Oh, there's one. Oh, you're kidding me. Ow, ow, ow. Oh, no.
Oh, and 2.5 as well. To be clear,
Oh,
you
so
can also
close.
kill villagers, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
Do you think there's like an ultra bad ending where you murder all the villagers? So
Ooh.
I'm not sure if we're going to be able to see the bad ending of this, but I will try. I promise. So what I was going to say about the story engine. So if we think about
Mm,
the so one of the what we're looking for here is the way in which the narrative interacts with the game world, right? So the game world is effectively this space I'm navigating, the way that I'm attacking sheep and doing all that kind of stuff.
hmm
Um, Narrative is kind of interesting. So the narrative um, manifests in the dialogue that I have. So in terms of game world to story, um, definitely get some impact because the villagers refer to me differently depending on my reputation, and my reputation
hmm
is essentially driven by whether or not I've killed the sheep in the game world.
hmm
So there's definitely an interaction there where my activities in the game world will affect the way that the villagers talk to me.
hmm
Um, though I don't think the Panther references. There's nothing here in the dialogue to say kind of reflects what I've been doing, as it
Yeah,
were.
I guess because with the fact that your your choices you at the beginning and end of every day you speak to the old panther.
Yeah,
I think it would be nice to see a bit more of your choices reflected in the game world in that
yeah,
sense.
because there is no. But I mean, thinking about kind of game world to story, I think the only place where you get that effect. Ooh, where did he come from? The only time you get that effect is the guards when they react to you, right?
Mm.
So there is definitely a place where it kind of there is definitely a place where when I get because I'm running when I get to the sheep,
You haven't got
I
stamina
haven't got the stamina
to
to pounce. Um, yeah, so I think that's the only place it happens. So I mean,
Mm.
so thinking about game world to story, what would a satisfactory be?
The satisfactory there would be there are some examples of where the game world impacts the story.
I think that's kind of where we are. Um,
Yeah,
what would
fair.
be what would be a good?
A good would be a number of examples where the game world impacts the story in important ways.
Yeah, I think it's
Um,
quite superficial. So even thinking
yeah, I
about
think it's a little flat in that regard.
so the other thing obviously is that you fall into the hole and that triggers the final scene. But again, that's quite a
Yeah.
minor element. So,
I
but
mean, I think it is impactful, but it is very much like the one peak,
yeah,
sort of the it's the which way it's going to go out there, and it sort of
yeah.
collapses to that wave point, which is fine, but it's not incredibly complex.
If we think about the other way round,
hmm
so that was game world to story. This would be story to game world. Are there story choices I'm making that impact the game world?
I mean, I
So
don't feel like the villagers are particularly suffering when you come and get the sheep, but maybe there's a ending where for example, if you were to, be killing the sheep, and or killing guards, and it got and people seemed upset by it, or potentially as you came in and if you were killing the sheep, then progressively the sheep became like more corralled, or there were more guards, or
but
people
this
were on
is about
higher alert.
so I think actually the problem they've got is where am I making the narrative decisions? Right?
Mm,
Because what they've done is they've made the key narrative decision, which is deer or sheep, effectively. They've made it mechanical. They've made it sort of diegetic, right? Which is
mm,
good, but that does mean it's quite mixed in with the kind of mechanical decisions of how to play the game,
hmm
right? So if you think about narrative decisions I'm making, do that, run away. I'm very close to doing this, so I don't want to get killed. Come on. Right. My stamina back up. Come back in again. Oh, there's a guard there. I didn't see him. Hey. Yeah, so I'm... there we go, into the pit. What do they say? Here we are. This is... Looks like that pesky panther has fallen into a sinkhole. Let's get revenge. Oh dear, they stoned me to death. You died. Panther passed away at the end. Alright, well I guess it's hardly unexpected, but there we go. Yeah, I think the story to world is problematic. I suppose if you're being generous, you would say that if you take your reputation as being like a measure of what you've done, the guards do respond to you differently because they chase you, right? And you can no longer speak with them. But it feels like it's problematic. It feels like there's not enough decision making going on in the real world, is it, or in the story world? Sorry, I don't have enough
sort of
kind of key decision points, and it's very tightly tied with the mechanical decisions of how to actually play the game.
It does all kind of resolve to a kind of one way or the other.
What would a pass be for?
So a pass for this would be this is story to game world. It would be a few sparse or minor examples where the story impacts the game world. Whereas a satisfactory on that would be some examples of where the story impacts the game world.
It's just sort of the number, as it were.
And I guess like even if you can say that, you know, the guards react differently to you, the deer kind of don't. The forest where you hunt deer stays broadly the same. So there's again not a huge amount of impact in that regard.
I think if we're to interpret it generously, and we say, look, they've kind of they have mixed up the two, but that's fine. I mean, and in a way, it's good to kind of have that, you know, to make the narrative and the mechanical decisions link them together. But even so, yeah, there's not that much. Very hard to say what the narrative decisions are. So I think probably a pass is about as much as we can give them for that. They needed to have more narrative decisions, and they needed to have those decisions then reflected in the world.
Yeah, I think that's fair. So that also brings us then to agency, which is the richness of choices. Now, I personally think this would kind of go into the past area where there are some choices, but only a few are interesting choices, because the results seem to be very much the villagers help you or you die.
It's very binary, isn't it?
Which is a bit flat.
Yeah. So we've really got. I mean, there's one choice, and it's kind of presented to us 3 times effectively. 5 food. There we go. Can't I store them up for another day? That would be fine. I mean, what would a pass be for?
A pass for that would be some choices, but only a few are interesting choices. And I think I actually do think that's where we are, because you've got an interesting choice of like you've got your 2 interesting choices really are hunt the sheep or hunt the deer. Helping the villagers, but you can also, you know, decide to actively attack the villagers, but there isn't any indication that would give you a worse outcome than just chasing the sheep.
So it's as I said, it's like one decision 3 times. I think because of a lack of options.
Mm.
The sheep.
On the other hand, you know,
my reputation's quite high anyway. Oh,
They
look, a
do seem a bit
panther.
more.
That's
They're definitely
nice.
more chill when your reputation's high.
Yeah, they were. So that's interesting. So maybe they got the balance a bit wrong. You'd think if I was eating their sheep in front of them, they'd be a bit more upset. Um,
Maybe they're okay with letting you have the odd one or two. I guess we'll find out. So that is nice. That you can balance it. And I think that does mean that stops it from being sort of in the poor category. I think it is a pass.
I think so. I think they just don't have enough. They just don't
Mm,
have enough choice points, really. And it is an interesting decision, but it's like it's a game made around one interesting decision, effectively.
mm.
So so will they? They're not going to attack me now, but I reckon if I start eating their sheep, they will. When I get my reputation in the middle, I'm kind of interested to see what happens when I do that.
Lap bang in the middle.
It's people. Just,
Oh, there's a sheep hiding in between the trees, though. Your houses, if you can sneak in. Yeah.
so I don't think the sneak works here, right? They can see you anyway.
No, they can apparently see you. So they're not quite as. Oh no. Okay, slap bang in the middle.
Run out, blooming.
Run, run!
Run
Your
away!
stamina.
Yeah, so we kind of slightly below half. Let's see what happens.
Maybe if you use this last bit of time to kill a deer, it will.
Let's try.
Yeah, you haven't got a lot of time, but maybe. Oh, you've become an elite hunter here, though, Dave. I have to say.
All food.
Okay, you've
There
got
you
full
are.
food. Oh, and that has in fact increased your reputation.
Well, let's go back and try with that then. Okay, so where does that take us to? We're on to techniques, aren't we? Pacing and
We sure are. We're on to design elements techniques. So this is first is pacing.
we go into the pit. What do they say? Given that I
Ooh.
stuffed my face full of sheep, that poor panther. We must help it. So I only get. Looks like there's only two endings then.
Mm. The ending very much resolves to we help you or we stone you to death. Yeah.
Yeah, you're either half up or half down, basically.
Mm. Oh, I'm interested to see though, because you didn't speak to the vet this time, so I am interested to know if. Yeah, there you go. That is slightly different.
What was that? I
Because
skipped through it.
if you spoke to the veterinarian villager,
Yeah.
when you were rescued from the sinkhole, they come with you to your cave and they heal the panther.
Because I didn't.
In that one, because you didn't, the panther is still suffering at the end, but at least you have enough food to get through the winter.
There you are then. So there is sort of a third midway ending, but it's kind of based on so again that introduces another choice point, if you like, which is an example of the game world impacting the story again. But it's not really, it's not really a conscious choice. It's just kind of reflecting my actions.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk
So
about
I think
pacing.
I think there is some ascending pacing here because the days get shorter.
Yeah.
There's a countdown to winter, and as your reputation changes or potentially gets worse, it can become more difficult to hunt sheep. It doesn't seem to become more difficult to hunt deer, and in general, I think it only really goes in one direction. There's not a lot of peaks and troughs in terms of the dramatic pacing. But I do think we get ascending pacing and potentially even with a clear final peak because you fall into the pit, which again, actually I have to say that's another thing that I quite like. I like the fact that you see that crack slowly getting bigger. I think that
Yes.
is a nice indicator of ascending
Right.
pacing. I thought that was a nice bit of environmental
So
storytelling.
I think I'd agree with you with the ascending pacing, for the reasons you said, and the days getting shorter is definitely one, and the kind of slightly ominous crack and all of that kind of stuff. The clear final peak, there is a kind of, I guess, a narrative climax. It might have been nice if that was coupled with a mechanical climax of some description.
It does have a certain amount of inevitability, certainly.
And as a climax, it also there's no choices in that. So arguably, even as a narrative climax, it's more of a kind of denouement. It's sort of like oh, you fall
Yeah,
in this pit, and then this is what happens.
yeah.
So
You have reached the story end point, and now here
yeah,
are the results.
yeah. So so what would a good be?
A good there would be ascending pacing with a clear final peak.
Presumably the satisfactory would be the ascending pacing, but without
Yeah, some
necessarily.
ascending pacing.
Yeah.
Um,
So
I
maybe yeah. Go on.
I would be willing to say like between those two because there is ascending pacing,
Yeah, there
but
is.
the peak isn't necessarily one of narrative choice.
Yeah, I think that's fair. So between the two, and then that takes us to technique.
Yes,
Um,
storytelling technique.
so here we've got a couple, right? We've got the text that pops up here, right, which is the conversations. We've got a little bit of environmental storytelling because we have the crack that gets bigger and bigger as we go through. I guess this is the dialogue again. Yes, the same dialogue. So we've got
Yeah,
two. We've got two different
would you
methods.
say the reputation tracker is another bit of storytelling technique there?
I think actually where there is a new one obviously is at the end. There's the scene, isn't there, in the pit? So there's almost like a sort of cutscene. So we've got multiple techniques being used.
Cool.
I think quite nicely and effectively. It would have been nice to see a little bit more environmental storytelling. So maybe a sign here saying panthers keep out or something. Yeah, generally speaking. I realise if you have
Yeah,
a full reputation, it makes it much easier to kill all the sheep.
it really does. So in this game, I guess the absolute elite way to play is just kill all the deer and all the sheep, and then you would get the most food and have a good reputation,
Yeah, I think you're right.
which is interesting. Um, that would be success. That would be in the good category. Would be successful use of more than one game writing technique. Um, the excellent category of that would be use of more than one game writing technique and mechanics support theme. Which I kind of think it does do. The fact that it's a hunting game and you're a panther, like, does work to me.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, so what is the theme here? The theme is about I forgot what the moral strictly is, but it's essentially about
I see them. Yeah.
it's
It's
strictly
about
about kind of what you do comes back to you, sort of thing, isn't it?
exactly, yeah.
To make friends rather than enemies. But I don't think it necessarily.
Yeah, I guess that part isn't particularly complexly developed. The
Yeah,
friends you make in the story it tells and so on are the same friends or
yeah.
enemies both ways. So it doesn't really develop that theme so much.
It's kind of
Uh,
it's definitely reflected in the gameplay, and that the villagers do come after you and they attack you,
mm,
and it changes the nature of what the game can be. So
mm.
again, maybe it's halfway between the two. I kind of feel
Okay,
like
I'd go with that.
they're kind of starting to develop this alignment, but it doesn't feel like it's quite fully there.
That's fair. Okay, and then there is the feedback.
So what was the feedback that they had?
Okay, let me see here. Um, In our lab feedback, one piece of advice we were given is that there is not enough instances where the game's story impacted the mechanics. To address this, we added in the previously mentioned feature where having a low reputation would cause villagers to attack you on sight rather than in retaliation. This changes the gameplay in the village as it shifts the power away from the player and towards the game world, as they will now have lots of villagers chasing and attacking them. Additionally, due to the winter nights drawing in, the amount of time the player has to collect food each day decreases. I think that's good. They have taken on that feedback, and they have to me successfully included those
Yeah.
changes.
Did they say anything else, or was that the only?
Let me double check. Yes, that is the bit on feedback. They've also got their narrative structure with their story engine and
Does it show the kind of the three endings that we talked about?
yes, so we've got three endings here, which is what is your reputation, basically, and it is low, medium, or high. If it is low,
Yeah.
the villagers will seek revenge, you'll stoned to death, and the old
Yeah.
panther dies of starvation. If it is medium, the villagers will rescue you and you survive, and the old panther continues to suffer. If it is high, the villagers rescue you, you survive, and the villagers heal the old panther, and he no longer
So
suffers.
it's not the veterinarian. It is your reputation that
It is your
that controls
reputation,
you.
yeah. It's not the whether you've spoken to the
Yeah.
vet.
So that feels like it's good. You know, they've understood the recommendation. They've made appropriate changes, and it's worked pretty well. So
Mm.
it sounds like at the good level. Yeah. Final thoughts on Panther.
I thought it was in many ways very charming. I really liked the difference in sort of hunting
Yeah.
styles. I thought that was very clever and
Yeah.
well done, and I enjoyed playing this game.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think it's when you give people a kind of narrative coursework, it's very common for them to sort of forget about the game bits and make a
Hmm.
very narrative heavy game, which is just exploring or collecting or doesn't have any gameplay. And I think they've done a really nice job of actually having gameplay that kind of works with the narrative that they have and integrates the kind of choices. And yeah, it's a really nice piece of work. I think they've done a great job. Um,
And again, 10 points for Tail and Fluffy Panther is.
Absolutely, yeah. Right, let's move on to our next game. So our next game is called Tale of the Three Villages.
Mhm.
I think this is another one we saw in the expo. I guess we'll find out.
I actually don't think I did see it, but I'm looking forward to it. But I do remember speaking to the designers, so I'm looking forward to seeing how they've developed it. Oh, it's got dramatic music.
It's very dramatic music, isn't it?
Yeah, you may want to lower the volume for the recording, but
It's a very good idea. Well, let's do that. Hey, better. Right.
great.
So no options for controls. So I hope they're on the screen or something. Let's start a new game. I like the slightly plain start screen, but I like the fact we have one, and I like the fact that
Yeah, and I like that it's a book. It's because it's very like it's a fable. It's
yeah,
going to be a story. Here is your book.
this is the tale of
Hmm.
how two brave heroes defeated the Demon King and saved the region of Dultier from his invasion. At least this is part of the tale. We join our heroes deep in the Fajal Mountains. Oh, this is all very fantasy-like. I like this. Was to move, space to interact, enter to view dialogue, escape to pause.
Nice. There you go.
Okay.
There is your controls.
All right. It feels like we've been stuck in these mountains forever. If we don't get out of here soon, I think I'm going to freeze to death. Press enter. So I think these are supposed to be Welsh names, which I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
they've just put in here to trip us up on the Let's Play. So I've no idea if just Brit is the right way of doing it.
I
Well,
think it might. Well, I think
yeah,
I did.
it's not their fault. They're at the bottom of the Scrabble bag when they came to getting their names. We should probably ask them for some help or at least somewhere to stay. But who is talking to each other here as well? I
Yeah, there
I
isn't. I can only see one little guy, but
little guy, and also I've got mouse. So press enter. Okay. A bound spirit. So Awa is a bound spirit. Yisbrid. Looks like it will be night soon. So we need to find somewhere safe to camp. What's that light over there? It's a village and another further on. So we've got the three villages, or at least somewhere to stay overnight. But what if they try to kill us or steal from us? Okay, so we're set up. Do you think
all
I ought to
right.
go? Do you think I ought to go up or down?
Let's go north. Up.
Chosen the right way. Oh yeah,
Oh, good for
we
me.
should continue going
Oh,
ahead. Did you want to freeze to
I
death?
did not.
So yeah, so it looks so I think they could have just made it a bit more obvious. I think the direction of the village, but here we go. Now what was it? Enter to interact or space to interact?
Hmm. Enter.
Yeah. So it's
Village
it's a,
of Belize.
it's a bit odd that it's space to interact with things, but enter
Hmm.
to move the dialogue on.
Yeah. It's Philboard. Oh,
Also slightly peculiar that they enter the village from the right and then appear from the bottom.
yep. And you're right there, immediately there. Let's go. I like the little tents.
Oh, Let's talk to the people. Hello. Himmel. Outsiders aren't allowed in the tent. The things inside are far too valuable to let other than the leader in. Hello there, traveller. You haven't been in contact with those Rigdom bullies, have you? Oh, okay. So the villagers
Oh,
don't get on. Anything with this fella?
apparently not.
We tried to turn the wolves in the avalanche zone so we could have extra firepower. I tried to capture the mines that Rigdom control to gain some resources to trade. Well, no wonder they don't like you if you want to conquer their mines.
But the wolves didn't like it either. And they used the power of wolf trebuchet.
That sounds terrifying. I imagine these wolves
I
being
know.
flung into the village. So we were keeping them in the farm. Okay. The man with the hat. Someone with a hat. People with a hat. They're always important. You weren't sent by the other villagers, were you? Ah, we got our first choice. Perhaps? No. Well, we weren't, so I guess we'll be truthful.
Yeah, indeed.
At this stage, you've got no stage
no word
to
of a lie.
I guess. Getting out of the mountains. Good. As you can probably see, our villagers recently suffered an attack. Getting back at them. You in? Since you destroyed our village, we thought we'd destroy something of theirs. Okay, so, man, I've got a yes or a no. I always wonder when you're given these, it's like, am I bound by this? Like, if I say yes and then don't do it, does it still count against me that I said yes?
I mean,
so
go with what your heart feels.
I say no, because you basically attacked them and tried to steal all their stuff, and they got annoyed at you and then some wolves with, I don't know.
They threw wolves through themselves at you? I'm not sure.
Yeah, so let me, if you change your mind, you're dead.
Oh, wow.
No, I don't like them. Which village was this? This was the bullies of Belize.
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 Yeah. Belize?
So, which was Rigdom. Is this Rigdom? Oh, was it space to interact? There we go. No, that's Mexdale. Let's go to Rigdom.
Okay.
I want to find Rigdom and say, hey, I've met all those idiots down at whatever the first village was called. Oh.
You would not believe what dumb stuff they said about you guys.
Next to me, Traverse, what brings you through these mountains? I presume this is Rigdom. Yeah,
Come
Demon
from
King. You got lost in these mountains. You must be exhausted. You're well rested. See, these people are nice.
Yeah.
This is more like it. Thank you. Yeah, there we go.
Yes, would love a feast. Thank you.
Good morning. We hope you enjoyed the feast. A favour. Last night while we were having our feast, we caught some thieves from the neighbouring village sleeping around, and we're hoping you would help punishing them. Execution. Pretty full on. We didn't give this severe of a punishment at the start, but this is a common occurrence, and the other punishments claim when acting. If you help us execute them, we'll spook to the nearest. Is it those people from Rigdom? That's what I want to know. Because if it is, I'm in. Let's get ready for the executions. We've already got. Oh dear. This is beginning to sound a bit dark.
Yeah, you got an outfit apparently.
Yeah, they gave me a whole outfit.
Are they going to give you an executioner's hood?
You help with the execution of the thieves. That will show that scum. Oh, no,
yeah, they'll be dead.
Are you going to fight the Demon King? This should like a legend. Will you okay for I will with you? My blade will cease to come with me. Okay, and Orn has joined your party. Thanks, Orn.
Oh, sweet, you've got a friend.
Was Orn going to show us the way out? I'm a bit lost. Was anyone letting us out here? I can't remember. Didn't they say they'd take us to something?
Yeah, take you out of the mountains after you've done some executing.
I did the executing. It said.
Oh.
Yeah, it came up as the dialogue. It was all done off stage. It was like you know they teased us with the whole outfit and murderous scene. And is this where the wolves are? How do I get out? Show me the way out. We got a fight.
Oh,
this is
time for a little. Oh, there's your party. I see.
So there's my little spirit that was been talking to me. What was his name? The guy without any vowels. No.
Awir?
No, I'm the guy without any vowels. And that must be Orn. So Orn's come to help. Our Yisbrid and Orn. There we are. And we've got a snowman. Something funny going on with the fonts. But,
you should insult the snowman.
I think that does, though.
I have absolutely no idea.
Find out. Threw me an insult at the enemy. Okay, left click, space, no, enter. Yes, enter.
It was not very effective.
Didn't seem to do much. So who's selected now, do you reckon?
I don't know. Oh, Orn, I guess.
This launches a bolt of potency cost. Oh, that's 50. Let's do a soul eater.
Gosh, snacks on a soul from their bag. Oh, got some MP. Interesting. Oh, okay, I see. It's like
That
Final Fantasy vibes.
doesn't seem to have done much to the snowman though.
No, no, it's Final Fantasy rules. MP is is your mana. It's how you use special abilities. So you didn't use any of that thing, but you have replenished
Right.
some.
Targets a single enemy, multi slash, mega slash. Okay,
Yeah.
let's do a multi slash. Choose the snowman. He lost some HP. Definitely
Yeah,
JRPG vibes here, but
yeah.
I,
The snowman's at half health, so that's
so
nice.
if I attack him with a hang on, I need another ball of wind at the enemy. Well, that'll do. That'll get him. Snowman was
Yeah,
killed. There we go.
nice
Won
one.
the
Take
battle.
that, snowman.
Right. So I have no idea what I'm doing now. Did I miss something?
Oh look, I
Oh,
mean, I'm not sure, but you're in trouble now. You're facing a lot of monsters in these
I'm gonna run
mountains.
away. Run. I don't like this. It doesn't feel like it's what should be happening.
Hmm. Maybe.
Away. Can I just always run away? Is there any consequence to running away? Maybe I should go try go up there and not just run away. Run away.
A wolf.
Oh, failed to run away.
Oh, you can't run away.
Ugh.
Oh no. Cute
So,
wolf.
so there are some problems with this, right? In that I don't
Mm.
know who's doing what.
Mm.
I'm lacking feedback.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can attack and you only know who's doing the thing when you get to this screen because you can see their little portrait on the left, but you don't see their name. And then afterwards it says, okay, Aware has done this, you want, yeah.
We should be out the mountains now. Illustration's too far now. We can run. Oh, we thought, okay, you don't need to worry about. Okay, so I just needed to get out the mountains. So he wasn't going
Oh,
to.
well, that's good.
Village of Rickton with their thief problem. Our heroes escaped the fragile mountains with the help of their new ally, the swordsman Orn. They arrived in the town of Lillestad to restock supplies. We're heading onward, adventure to defeat the Demon King. To be continued. Main menu. There we go. So
Ah.
there we are. We have a game. We have like a JRPG style battle screen. We
Mm-hmm.
have some mountains to negotiate with the monsters. We've got 3 villages with some weird dynamics going on between the villages. And that's it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think what we'll do this time is we will maybe go and explore the second village we didn't see, and as we do that, perhaps we can make a start on some of the criteria.
Yeah. Okay.
So also, I've got a feeling that in the expo there was a magic button I could press to get an inventory. Does that?
Ooh, magic
I-
button.
Maybe,
I?
maybe I'm getting confused. No, isn't.
Okay.
I
Well,
vaguely
as
remember
ever.
it sort of popped up and you could see the picture of the uh yeah, oh no, that's that one. You could see the picture of the spirit, but
Oh yeah.
they never tell you
The
about it,
little,
unfortunately. So right, so what's this? This is
which one's this?
Mextel. Don't know anything about Mextel. We sort of avoided them last time. Oh, another one where
Oh.
we come in from the side.
Yeah, I think it loads a fresh scene real hard. Um,
Started the fighting. Rickdom hoarded all the resources we used to share. And Bellies end up in poverty. Now we have to steal most food and supplies. So these are the Belize
oh.
people, right?
No, this is a different village. So this is a
See, our
different
best
village, and they're
protecting.
saying we and Belize have had to be stealing resources because Rickdom is hoarding them. Can't believe you helped support the capitalist overlords, the proprietarian hoarders, Dave. Appalling.
Was it the Rick? Did I help them, or were they the people I didn't do the thing for?
You did. You helped the wealth hoarders. That's why they could give you a feast because
Yeah, of course.
they were all rich.
Okay. So these people want a bunch of parts, basically.
They can get you out of the mountains on their snow speeders if you help
Perfect.
them. I like that.
But we have to steal from Rickdom.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Do it.
oh,
Do it. Steal from them. Steal from the
Steal from
capitalist
Rickdom.
overlords.
Okay. Let's fight for the proletariat. Bring down the system.
I really
See,
like that the proletariat in this game are wearing little goggles. It's
yeah,
incredibly cute.
and make bombs.
You
Apparently.
received bombs. Oh wow. Okay, yeah, okay, hardcore. Right. Got it.
So who that bunch? So that was Mexdel.
And then this village, the first one is
That's Belize.
Belize. Yeah,
And
and then the
Replicon with a
last one's
but
at
they
the
were
top.
lovely. They gave me a
Yeah.
feast. They all seemed so
They did give you a
happy,
feast. They were very
happy, and
friendly, weren't they?
they were
We,
friendly.
we,
They were.
we've
These
only got
guys were.
the people of Mexdal's word for it
Oh,
that they've
oh, take a
take a
hike
hikey
through
spot. How are you
spite.
meant to steal from them if you can't get in there?
It's a bit of a
Oh,
shame.
maybe the people of Belize will help you.
Yeah, let's go and talk to them. So
So
presentation.
yeah.
So there are some bits I like. I like the
Mhm,
consistent graphics. I like the
mhm.
snow. That's a nice little effect. And I like the music and everything. So I think they've done a reasonable job. I think the problem is probably in the information design.
Yeah, I
So
was gonna say I think that's where we've got some trouble because we've got a nice space we can explore, and then in the information design we're a bit confused.
yeah.
We're
So
not quite sure who's attacking in attack scenes. We're not quite
yeah,
sure when we're encountering enemies when we're out in the wilds.
yeah,
Um, and we're sort of lacking some consistency in how we understand our interaction with the world, I guess.
yeah. This kind of it just feels like some bits missing, right? Some feedback missing.
Mm,
Um, but otherwise, I think, and the presentation is a little bit plain, right? But it's
mm.
fine, right? So, I mean,
So
so what are satisfactory for presentation?
yeah, satisfactory is I think quite right here because the term for satisfactory here is workable. So
Yeah,
effective, but there are some inconsistencies. And I think workable is
yeah,
pretty much where we are. We've got,
yeah. We've got
something that does look like a game and you can play it like a game,
yeah,
but there are some wobbles.
yeah. Some wobbles, but also some nice things, So yeah,
Mm.
okay. So sort of satisfactory there. I just note, by the way, that Stjern here,
Hmm.
vowels people, vowels. So this fella, the guy with the hat, he reckons
Hmm.
he can get me into Rickdom round the back.
Oh, I told
Right.
you they'd help you.
So here we go.
Yeah.
I get fire starters.
You've got fire starters
Yeah.
and bombs. Wow,
Ooh.
I kind of take it back about me saying support the proletariat because I feel like I'm, straight up supporting terrorism now.
To burn down their
That's
farmhouse. Okay. And I also need to steal from them while I'm at it. There's a
okay.
secret entrance in the north of the avalanche zone. Come back to me when you're
Ooh,
done. There was a little path that went off to the north, wasn't there? Let's have a look.
yes, so.
So,
I am impressed
gameplay.
by how these things are interacting. How you can side with who you side with to make things.
There's a slime.
Ah, and there's your little path. Oh, you've got a
So,
slime to kill. I love games where you have to kill slimes. I genuinely
yeah.
really do. I love slimes.
Well, no one likes a slime, do they? Right. So, a ball of wind and air blast. There we go. Sorry, it's like figuring out what button to press. I've got space, enter, and mouse.
Hmm.
So
I'm just
so
interested in when insult will be a thing.
yeah. Can you insult a slime? I mean, you know, everything that's really bad's happened to it already, I guess. After being born, the user scratches the
Look at
enemy
you,
because
slime.
cost the well. There's a shadow scratch. That level's sorted out. There you go. I won the battle. Right. So this is what I meant. This little
Nice.
thing up here.
Yeah, yeah. Oh wow,
Can
a
I run away?
snowman and a
I'm
wolf.
gonna run
Oof, you're
away.
in trouble now.
Oh, to run
Can't run
away as
away when
well.
there's wolves. They'll sniff you out.
Oh, any help yet? Can I insult a wolf? Right, what's my most powerful attack? Restoring.
Yeah,
Okay, so
that's your
that
restoration one.
that restores mana. That one targets. Let's do a shadow scratch. I don't know. I can't.
Yeah.
See, it's like here. Like I can't see the hit points or the status of either
Mm,
of these things.
mm.
So let's go for the wolf.
So in terms of meaningful play,
So there is some meaningful play, right?
mm. Yeah, there are like the mechanics here. They don't feel like
Just got murdered.
you were absolutely murked by this little snowman. Oh,
They've just launched me back into it. They've obviously figured out that I might be the one playing this, and therefore they have to have noddy help mode when I'm totally incompetent. So what's the snowman has 50, the wolf. All right, let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of the snowman then. We can get rid of
Yeah.
him with that. All right, there you go. And then if I attack the snowman again, he's only got 5 left now. So I can do like. Okay.
Good. Okay, cool.
I was
Oh,
killed.
no.
I died
So,
again.
where is it?
Why did I
I think
die? I run away. Run away. Oh
it's
no.
wolf bit you. Gosh.
The wolf. Can I kill the wolf? Because he's really dangerous. So
Yeah, this is
that
what's
cost.
strange is that sometimes the wolf will just howl at you and it won't do anything, and then other times the wolf will straight up bite straight through you. Absolutely wild.
Wolf used bite.
Well, and did it. Oh.
This. So there's obviously like an initiative system running behind the scenes as well.
Mm.
So if I attack, if I do a air blast on the wolf, that'll get him. Right. It's just me and the snowman left now.
Mm-hmm. Man
Uh,
versus snowman.
yeah, I've got loads of MP, so let's just do a. So it is worth noting that in this slightly more complex fight, I am actually planning what to do and
Oh,
trying
that's all
to.
right. That's cool.
So
Okay, yeah, so we've
I
got
am,
some
I
complex
am,
mechanics there.
I am kind of playing, but it is still a bit rough and ready, and I think the feedback thing is a real problem.
Mm.
You want the
So
battle?
would you say that puts it sort of into the
Oh,
playable category, the satisfactory area?
I think so. I kind of think that I wouldn't say it was particularly fun to play. Um,
So the fun is sort of in the excellent category. In good, we have sort of engaging, and we do have the complex, some complexity and multiple mechanics here. But the controls don't feel incredibly smooth. Because you're not quite sure what each thing how each thing
yeah.
engages.
Oh,
So I would
so
I would oh boy.
I'm also
Luckily
getting a.
Slime's really
I'm also getting a bit fed up. Well, I did run away from this one, so glad that worked.
hey well, it
Um,
does seem that when you enter the mountains it's battle after heavily battle after battle.
you failed to run away. Oh, is Yizwood still dead? Oh, he's got one hit point.
Oh my.
Exciting. I should
Oh
try and
my,
I
you're in
should try
trouble
and
now.
let's kill the snowman. Uh, get him out of the way.
Okay, so in terms of meaningful play, I think satisfactory then.
I think so.
Cool. Okay. Now, in terms of when we get to the story engine time, game world to story, what do you think?
Um, Game world to story. So they I definitely so some of the villages have been gated off to me because of
Mm-hmm.
some of the things that I've done in the hang on game world to story. So this is things I've done in the game world to story. I'm thinking of story to game world, aren't I? So I'm thinking in story to game world. If I've had these conversations and agreed to help one village, the other village won't let me in, right?
Mm,
So
yes.
I've definitely got an effect. Oh, I will not die. Um,
Oh goodness.
oh,
Oh,
please. Um, so have I got any MP left? That's my problem. I've got no MP. So
oh
item.
dear.
Oh,
You just
oh,
have
I've
to.
got items. I
Oh,
didn't even look at
healing
items.
potions. That's helpful.
Bombs, healing potion. But who is this? Who is doing this thing? Because one of them needs a healing.
And one of them does needs a mind potion.
Oh, I can choose a target
Ah, you can choose. Very good.
with some mana. Lost some.
And lost a. Oh,
Both almost dead.
oh
Attack.
no.
So use a healing potion.
Definitely
Use
need
plenty.
healing.
Let's attack and see what we can do here. Can't do any of these, I don't think. He's dead. He's been killed. Run away again. Run away. Yes.
Yay!
Oh, that's why I just keep trying to run
Successful
away.
running.
Oh, thank
Can you
Christ for that.
use?
Right. There's something down there. Something with immense power. What? Yeah, look. I sense something with immense power. I stole an amber kidney. I've
Whoa!
always
I've
wanted
always
one of
wanted one of
those.
those.
Ah. Oh, hang on. Guards, seize them. Okay. I'm just going to ignore that. Can I go in here? Oh, material. I will sneak in and get them. You stole the materials to Bly. We need to give them back to Bly. Right, where's the farmhouse? There's a farmhouse I'm supposed to burn down somewhere. Do you reckon that's it?
Yeah.
That.
I mean, it's
Oh,
next to some
uh,
chickens, so.
oh, you arm
Oh,
the fires,
yeah.
but you should head back to and tell them we finished. Great, let's do that.
Nice.
I really don't want to. I don't want to go. It's all right there. Oh, go back. Oh no, I can't get
No,
out.
no, you're good.
No, he won't let
He's
me.
kicked you out,
No, he
but
won't let
in
me.
the right direction.
No, he won't.
Oh,
You know, I can't. I can't go
no.
down. I got to go through the mountains again and fight all the
No, the
damn snow.
barrier works both ways,
And,
and you've got like no health.
and I got to
Oof.
fight all the snowmen and slimes. Run away! Oh no!
Ugh. Run!
Run! Run away! That's a Robin. Right, there we go. Brilliant. Um, sorry, we were talking about the story engine a minute
Yeah.
a minute ago. So yeah, okay. Let us pause a minute. So the game world, or story to game world rather, does have an impact.
Mhm.
So if I
Mhm.
if I make certain decisions, then I can't access the village, and
Mhm.
also it gives me more options. So I mean, it depends whether you think. I mean, to be honest, part of the problem here is a lot of the actions actually take part in the narrative space. So
Mm.
I don't plant the firecrackers. I don't steal the stuff. I just say I'm going to
Yeah.
do it, right? So strictly speaking, that's narrative to narrative. So
Hmm.
the only game world thing I'm doing is I'm fighting and I'm exploring, right?
Mhm.
And the only impact that the story has, it doesn't affect the. Well, actually, no, that's not true. I gain a helper who helps me with the fighting,
Yeah,
right?
I was about to say
Yeah,
when you sided with the big boys, they immediately gave you a feast, which just
yeah,
had a narrative play. But they gave you a little buddy to help you fight the
yeah.
monsters, and we did then learn that it is quite a lot harder to fight the monsters without a buddy.
We got Maine. So okay, so now we've got Maine. Maine has joined the party. I reckon we can go
Hey,
get someone. Uh, wait, uh,
oh no, we're in a loop. We're trapped.
no, I so wanted to go to the other village as well. Run away! I can't do anything.
Oh
I think
dear.
we've found a loop. It's as long as you. Yeah, I think we're
You can't just WASD out of here.
no wasding going on.
Oh, oh
Oh
dear.
dear. All right, I think that means we have to restart. One second. Okay, so we figured out what the problem was. It actually wasn't a bug with their game. It was that I have a second keyboard and it had fallen over on the space key. so, so we were just constantly pressing the interact button. So hopefully we've now stopped that. Um, see if this works. Um, so we were talking about the story engine. Um,
Yep.
I think what to think about is the actual things, the mechanics we have in the game world, and then what impact they have on the story, right?
Yeah.
So what have
Yeah.
I got? I've got exploring,
Mm-hmm.
fighting.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, right? Because all of my other
That is
interactions,
about it, yeah.
that's it. So the question is, does the narrative ever reflect the fact that you've done either of those two things?
I don't feel like it does to a great extent. The There are lots of times when you've been fighting or engaged in mountain battles, and even if someone commented on that, that would make a difference. And I
Yeah,
think it's also partly, a result of a lot of the action being sort of off camera, as it were.
sort
Um,
of done in
you
the
don't
narrative
get,
system. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. You don't do a thing and then everyone around you goes, "Buh." Instead, there's yeah.
So
Um,
so I I think if we were being generous, we would say that those actions that are being taken in the narrative system are kind of sort of towards those kinds of things. I mean, what would a pour be for game world
Yeah,
story, for example?
I suppose there is that where you know if you could say it's somewhere it's there in sort of the play. So poor for there would be some support for story elements in the game, but the game world has no real impact on the story.
I think that's
Um,
where we are, right? We've got
yeah,
kind
I
of.
think that's probably where we are. Yeah.
See if I can
And that brings us
sneak in the
to
back here.
you're gonna sneak in. Gosh.
Yeah, well, I talked to
And that
those Rick Dam people. Um,
yes. Whoa. Um, Meanwhile, there's the agency, which is richness of choice. Now, I actually think they've done something quite good here. I think they've offered quite a number of interesting choices. So you can, with who you can collaborate with or against, and you can even intermingle two of those things. I'm pretty sure you can
yeah,
collaborate with Village One and Village Two.
yep.
And
So
importantly as well, you don't have to. You can go walk into your first village and get a feel for it. And they say, "Hey, will you help us?" And you say, "No, actually, I'm going to go and have a look around."
yeah.
And I think that's good. I think they've done a good job there.
So the first playthrough we were on the track to help two of the villages, which I think is kind of
Mm,
like an interesting outcome. Here we've just done
mm,
one. But yeah, I agree with you. I think the choices are nicely interconnected. And they're not obvious, right? It's not like we've got
yeah,
one really evil village. In fact, the village that's a bit grumpy with you is actually not necessarily the bad village. So
yeah. And the ones who are nice to you, like quite easily nice to you, and just demand that you engage in some casual execution, are
that
arguably the bad
I mean,
guys.
thinking about that, that's probably a red flag, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I
Like,
mean, I did enjoy how hard you went into it because the first ones the first village you met, you were like, oh, they were rude to me.
right, yeah, yeah.
Someone's
I
getting executed.
I place I place a lot on I place a lot of value on politeness. Um, yeah, okay,
So yeah, so I think that goes into I think the agency level is good for sure.
yeah, yeah. I'd agree with that.
And that brings us to pacing. Now for me, the pacing in this game is, I would say, put this in the satisfactory category because there is some ascending pacing. You
Yeah.
do things develop, things become more complicated. You get the payoff in terms of people joining your party, but does it reach a satisfying high point, conclusive arc? I don't
Yeah,
think it really quite gets there.
I think you're right. So if you think about the pacing, you've got you're exploring the villages to start with, and
Hmm.
then it kind of the tension begins to rise as you understand the tensions, and then you make a decision. You go and execute your plan, and then you've got to get
Hmm.
out through the mountains. So I think yes, you're right. There's clear pacing all the way through, but then it kind of finishes on a bit of a damp squib, where it's
Yeah, it
just
just
like,
kind of
oh,
the
now
game
now
just
you're
kind of
through the
stops.
mountains, and the game
Yeah.
sort of stops. And they framed it in that way, right? Because
Mm.
you're it's part of this larger story, and we're getting this sort of snippet.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I think I'd agree with you, and that yes, that would be the satisfactory level then.
Yeah, that would be satisfactory level. And that brings us on to storytelling techniques. Now, I think they only really use one game writing technique here.
So that's the dialogue that pops up at the bottom.
Yeah, yeah. There's the dialogue, and they use it well, and they use it a lot. Like it would kind of be great if we had some cutscenes, I think. But
Yeah,
the story is told. The story is absolutely communicated to you.
I think especially given they make this decision to take away some of the most important scenes and place them in the narrative, right? So burning
Mm,
down the farmhouse or doing whatever it would be. It would have been nice, I think, to have a simple cutscene, right? Even if that had just been a static image showing the
mm.
farmhouse on fire with your character next to it or something.
Yeah, or
Um,
for the scene where you execute a thief, like have a simple cutscene of an axe coming down or a guillotine or
yeah,
something similar to that. You don't have to show gore, just have to show like a blade
yeah,
moving, and that would be another way of storytelling.
yeah, yeah. I think
But
so.
it is a successful use of one game writing technique, so I do think that that puts it in the satisfactory category.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Um,
Cool.
I'm getting a bit fed up of all these. I think these are random encounters, and I
Yeah.
think there's only one place for random encounters, and it's the 1990s, right? Because I played a lot of games. I think I mentioned this to them in the expo. I played a lot of games like Pools of Radiance and Curse of the Azure Bonds, some of those original TSR games, Dungeons and
Hmm.
Dragons tie-ins, which was very similar to this. You're just happily wandering around an empty map, and then all of a sudden got leapt out on by some creature.
Hmm.
It was a trend. Bard's Tale had it. All those original dungeon crawlers had it. Um, yeah, but yeah, oh, it's annoying when you're just like
Uh,
there's no
I
one, no one around.
Yeah. That's another nice, I think I spotted another nice story to game world moment though. I'm pretty sure that these humans that you start appearing as enemies
Yep.
are people from the villages that you're not part of, that you haven't joined with. Because I remember seeing in as you were going through one of the bits when we'd gone with another one, I saw someone in a red hat. And I thought that might be another villager. I could be getting this completely wrong because it just says sword fighter or whatever.
Yeah.
If I'm not getting this, by the way, I'm throwing it down not as me
Oh,
not paying attention, but as an issue of information design. But if that is the case, then I do think that's kind of cool that now you get random encounters with
yeah.
hostile humans as well. That's quite clever.
Okay. So I think here we
And that
go.
brings us to feedback. Hey, you
So
escaped.
I escaped. So okay. So what was the feedback that they had?
The feedback that there are two bits here actually. So the first bit was make sure the villagers feel different enough in gameplay was the feedback they were given, as well as how they're presented. And they've responded that to make the villagers feel different enough, we gave each village their own personality, as well as giving each village a different task to do before they would help you. We also added the feature to get party members from a village after helping them out and made sure that those party members fulfilled different roles to add significance to the decision of which village to help. Um,
So that's
yeah,
worked, right? I mean, they're kind
absolutely.
of
I think they've worked, yeah. They do feel different, and I don't know how different it felt to play the different party members, but I appreciate the effort in making them have a different
yeah.
um, ludo narrative cohesion feeling.
So just
Uh,
noting we have a new mission, right? Which is we now have to steal the stuff. So he just told
oh,
me what
still stuff.
he's just told me
Okay.
how to steal. So let's go and see what to do.
Oh, cool.
Can
Have a
I?
good time stealing.
Do I have to go in the back way again? Did he tell me that the back way was there? Yeah. So presumably,
And the other thing they were told was to make sure choices are obviously presented. To make sure that choices were obviously presented, we let the player talk to each village and hear what they wanted the player to do before they decide to help. We didn't feel as though we need to explicitly state that helping certain villages would
yeah,
upset others, as we thought that the description of the tasks would heavily imply that the villagers would not like you for your actions. Yeah, like good subtext integration there,
yep,
and I do think that like they've done that successfully, because that's exactly what we were talking about in terms of managing player agency,
yeah,
in that you can choose to help or not help. So I think that really, yeah, the changes have been successful, and I think that brings it into the good category.
yeah. I think that's fair. I've got myself stuck in a combat with a wolf again. Oh,
That'll happen.
how am I doing? Oh, I'm not doing. Oh, no, I'm just fighting a slime now. We should be fine. Kill the slime.
Kill the slimes. So yeah, do you have any overall comments, Dave?
Um, so I think kind of for me it feels like they've overstretched themselves a little bit because especially with this JRPG element here that it kind of hasn't quite come together. And as a result of that, what's happened is they've pulled some of the game mechanics into the narrative, right? So
Mm,
some of the stuff that I feel should really be gameplay, like planting the bombs or stealing the stuff from the house, aren't, right?
mm,
I almost feel that it would have been better to have those as gameplay elements, almost rather than the this sort of complex battle system that they've got
mm,
going on. And because of that, it then made it difficult to kind of show the interplay between the game world and the story in the way that perhaps they could have done. So I think they caused themselves a bit of a problem there. But otherwise, I love the setup. I love the three villages. I love the fact it's quite grey, and it's not particularly clear. You know, who are the good guys, as it were, and what you should be doing. So yeah, I think that's very effective. How about you?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think they have perhaps been a little bit ambitious, and I remember thinking this when I was talking to them during the labs that it is quite an ambitious network of interactions, and adding the sort of this quite complex combat mechanic possibly exacerbated that. But what there is in terms of the actual sort of narrative complexity, the way the villagers feel, the way they interact, the things you can do for each one
Yeah,
is really what's actually very intriguing and is quite novel and genuinely draws you in. So I think, yeah, great job there. Um, and
way
I enjoy
repeatedly.
it.
Yeah, no, they've done a nice job, and I kind of feel that given the scope they set themselves, they just sort of needed a bit more time to build it out. So a sort of
Yeah.
slightly simpler framing would have helped them a little bit. But yeah, but nice job though. Really interesting setup.
Hmm.
Okay, shall we look at our next game?
Absolutely.
So our final game is called the Elements Tryout. So I don't think I've seen this game before. I don't know if you've seen it in the labs at all.
No, I don't think I have. Well, I say that now. It might have had a different name, so let's see. Ooh, no, I
Right,
don't think I have seen this.
that's a very fancy E. Someone's
That
had
is a
fun.
fancy E.
Look at that. It's got all the elements in it.
It has
Uh,
got the elements in it. I'm immediately intrigued. I feel like we're gonna get like I
yeah,
already I can feel like we're gonna get some we're gonna get some superhero
yeah.
stuff happening here.
I think
Let's go.
if I was Air, I think I'd want another agent because I'm not convinced that my representation is quite up to snuff.
Yeah, you
But
could at least get a cloud,
something like a puff of something. But,
some kind
okay.
of waft.
Anyway, here we go. But I'm intrigued. Look, I got laser eyes. That's very now, very
Well,
current.
someone's got laser eyes.
Oh, here we go. So my mouse does the camera. WASD scan environment is Q. Okay, remember that. Weapon wheel is tab. Interact is E. I'm not going to remember that. I don't know whether it's just age now. I can remember one key and everything else has to be prompted. So scan environment is Q. Weapons wheel is tab. Interact is E. Oh, press H to show and hide. That's probably the key one to remember. All right, that's
Yeah.
that's the key I'm going to remember. H. Right.
You just need you. That's all you need. It's all you need to play the game is H.
Yeah, well, I like this. This is nice.
Okay.
Little bit of environmental tutorial
Yeah,
thing.
just straight up immediate
Team
environmental
tracks.
storytelling there for you.
Smooth. What is this?
Ah, I feel like we're getting a The Boys kind of vibe.
Yeah, it's a bit Ubermensch, isn't it?
Mm.
There's elements again. That's gone brown. Perhaps that's Earth. I
Yeah,
don't know. Is it Earth and
that
air is
must
the
be
mountain?
Earth, surely. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I completely got it.
Either way,
completely.
I like it.
Right, press E to interact. Oh, there you go. See, I needn't have worried.
They've heard your cry, Dave.
We've wanted this for a long time, haven't you? Don't know what to press. Space. Enter. Enter. Sitting here in front of me, the elements, the team everyone grows up idolising, right? Yeah, definitely boys vibes. You trained, you pushed, and now you're here. One step away from proving you belong in the big leagues. Oh, I love the animation.
Yeah.
Oh, people want this. Okay. This judgment. I think we're going to be in trouble if I'm honest. Here's your chance. Okay. Press enter to skip to make it jump to the end. Okay. Freeze them, fry them, going swinging. Hell, blow the place sky high for all I care. Two ways in. Front entrance, direct loud, makes a statement. The back, quieter, gives you time to think. Oh, what do you think?
Ooh. I'm a fan. I'm always a fan of stealthing.
Let's go on a bit, this bloke, doesn't he?
He does. He likes the sound of his own voice.
Okay, here we go. I'm in the desk. All right. So stealth was. Oh, crikey!
Ooh, easy.
That was a sensitive camera. Let's go stealth. Press E to go in the back entrance. Ah, Okay, save the hostages. I presume that's my hostages?
I guess so. They look like humans.
Turns the head away from you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, he's looking around, I guess. As you go. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, don't forget you can press Q to scan your environment.
Ah.
I don't know what that does, but I know you can do that.
Things flashed.
Ooh.
There you go. Oh, there we go. We get to see the TV. Press E to turn off lights. Sorry, where was the lights then? So I could scan my environment and it said there's a door and a desk. Oh, that's the keyboard.
There's your hostages kneeling on the ground. Ooh, there's a mirror.
Hang on over here then. So E to interact.
You've hidden under the table.
Okay.
Good job.
Do I get a badge?
There are mirrors. I wonder if you can like use your laser eyes into the mirrors. That'd be cool.
I don't think the mirror. I think the mirror is just blue anyway. I think the thing I can interact with is this thing. It turns off the lights.
Huh?
There we go.
Huh?
So check out the security room.
Ooh, hide under the table. Hide under the table.
I like it. How do I hide under the table quickly?
Ee. Sorry, I'm very second-hand playing this game now.
Take him out, do you reckon?
Oh, heck yeah.
Do it.
Oh no, he's shooting you.
Hang on. Interact E. Weapon wheel. Or weapon wheel. Tab. Laser eyes. Oh, see, this is good. Right. Laser eyes.
Hey, down he goes.
Oh, look at the little puff. Oh, this is brilliant.
Oh, can you look
think
into
I
the
want to see if mirrors work. Oh no. I want to see if I broke the TV. The other option.
It's cool that you broke the TV.
Ice breath. Lights are off, they can't see you. Little puff. Oh dear. That's
Oh
right.
my goodness.
I've done
I love it.
I'm doing
You're
terrible
doing some
things.
great surgical lasering here, Dave.
Stay right there, people. You're perfectly safe as I massacre all of these people with my laser eyes.
Yeah.
I let go of this bomb, we all explode. Best just leave us be. Oh, that's the guy.
Ooh. Ooh, I wonder, can you use your ice? No.
Yeah, he wasn't lying.
I was going to say, can you use your ice breath so he freezes with his hand on the bomb?
I think some bad things have happened here. Sorry. Sorry, everybody. First day on the job.
Whoopsie doopsie.
Whoops. Oh, you
First day on the job.
Hang on, let me just help you out there. There you go. Sorry. Brilliant. That went well. Finish the mission.
Smooth as silk. Smooth as silk.
How fast? Well, I like to think of it as a work in progress. Everyone's doing. Oh, yeah. Do you know what? Do you know what? This is exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. You're actually sure. So I like that it's, you know, there's
my life.
Oh,
That's
A,
so
I like
good.
that you can play again like that. And B,
I
I
like
like that it's kind
yeah,
of,
I like the
because it's
jumping
set in this
around.
kind of grey world, that he's like, I
Yeah.
guess there is a meh.
So let's do the front entrance. We can always go back and
Yeah.
try the ice breath thing again. It's front. So front entrance. The hostages. Hey, stay
Oh.
right there. Can I? Oh, here we go. Ice breath. Okay. If I let go of this bomb, we will all explode. Best just leave us be. Where is he? Hello? Oh, there you are. Ooh. Laser eyes. Shoot at me.
Amazing.
There we go.
I
Excellent.
just remembered you might want to lower the volume of the music on this. It is like
See, although
nice
it's,
and
it's sort of working, it's not too loud for once.
Yeah? Okay, cool.
These laser eyes are way too fun.
Guys are a good
I
time.
think I can just... Where is the bomb? Oh, there it is. Can I pick the bomb up? I freeze the... Do I just leave at this point?
Can you walk around and like
leave
the
safely.
bomb?
Just says leave safely. So maybe I'll just leave now.
Off you go.
We're done. Glad to
Job
help.
done. Good job, everybody.
It's the mission. Bold move, effective, real effect. Oh. Am I supposed to destroy the bomb? Paperwork people die. Okay. Don't let anyone tell you lethal force is a bad luck. Board. There we go.
Hey.
So I'm not. So there's some really nice stuff here, but I'm also sort of sensing that this initial decision doesn't seem to make an awful lot of difference.
Yeah.
So if I just select ice breath.
Mm-hmm. And walk in.
Just walk in.
Breathe on everyone.
Just walk up to him and have a chat. Where is he? Right over there, right? Hi, mate. There we go. So presumably,
can these people kill you?
I don't think so. I think I'm just immune. So there
cool.
we go. Job done.
Job
And then I can walk out, right?
Yeah.
No, I've not killed anyone. Or have I killed them? I mean, it didn't look particularly good for them, right? Froze the criminals, saved the hostages, clean enough for me. Oh, okay, so there's another ending. Let's not pretend it was quiet. Bomb ticking. Bang. It was chaos. It wasn't chaos. Darn it.
Okay. So you can,
Okay. Right.
so you can in fact lure them.
So I'm gonna go back entrance.
Mm-hmm.
Let's select my ice breath. Let's turn the lights off. And this loser to come in.
Hide under the desk.
Oh.
Just because I like that it's a mechanic.
Dear. I'm getting that sort of Han Solo and Carbonate vibes. And now I've locked the door. Oh, this is unfortunate. My plan isn't working. Yeah, sorry, mate. You're in there. Sorry, everyone. Sorry. I freeze. We've frozen him already. That's good. Doesn't do much. You walk up to him, does he?
Nice.
Done. And then we walk out.
All right, and now we leave.
We leave. So I still killed a person, right?
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to get the same ending. Not the worst performance I've seen, but it's damn... Really?
That was somehow worse.
It was close. Close, presumably, to the first time I did this.
Panic.
They weren't panicking. They were fine. A bit harsh. That was a harsh ending.
It is a bit harsh. Yeah. I mean, I like that we were like, surely this is the only end. There's only these couple of endings, but it turns out...
Sensitivity. Right, I need to go over there. Right, so if I hide under the desk... It's breath. Out. Freeze him. And we come in here.
Can you turn the lights on again to like lure another person? Like, can you on off the lights?
Let's give it a go. This bloke's in the way. Not interact with it anymore.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I sort of stopped using the Q thing because there wasn't that much to interact with, I suppose.
Yeah, if you go into the second room before he sees you, yeah, press Q. Does that do anything?
Just the door, I think. Okay. Right there. Right. Frozen him. So I did press to freeze him, but there we go. Job done. Right, so I've lured people in. The civilians never saw anything. Surely this is like ultimate ending, right? I've aced this. Right?
Everything's perfect. Silent.
Froze the criminals, saved the hostages, clean enough for me. There we go. But let's not pretend it was quiet. Bomb team. No casualties. Welcome to the Elements. Right.
Well, you're in the Elements. All right.
Shall we start? And
I've had
enough here.
You can you just want to press play with the laser eyes, so I'll let you laser eyes things.
Yeah.
Okay. Presentation. So it's a yes on the presentation.
Oh dear. That's everywhere. Oh no.
Cash for flavor. Like, okay, so the game looks really fun. We like that the music works. There's sound effects. Things make noises. We're having a good time.
I would definitely like to blow up more stuff in my eyes. This is fantastic. I will be honest. Although we've been laughing, the blowing up the civilians isn't particularly nice. And there's all sorts of people in here. There's women and kids, and that's a bit grim. But I guess it's suitable for this type of game.
Yeah, like I think they've set it up as the boys-esque kind of.
Especially since when I do this,
game.
they basically
if this were an actual The Boys game, I think there would be a lot more blood.
Yeah,
so I'm fine with it being a bit grim. Like, I think that's very reasonable for the flavour of the game.
I kind of feel I mean it's a very small game. I kind of feel like you've explored almost all the possibilities.
Yeah.
But let's go through it because so presentation. I mean, it looks brilliant, right? I think it's got a really nice stylized look to it. This portal's cool. I love they don't use it very much, but the kind of cue to interact thing's nice. The laser eyes in particular is really nice. Right? If I can,
I think, and
man's in my
the fact
way.
that you can
That didn't work. Just trying a few different things here.
trying to gently laser your way to victory.
Can I try with that? Oh, that's what I come in with.
So would we say that it puts it into the professional sort of area? Complete and effective?
I think so. I mean, in terms of, so if you think about the audio's very good, very complete. It looks fabulous. Animations are all in place. It's all consistent. It's effective.
You understand which. You seem to be like having a fine time with the controls as well. The blue versus the red kind of tab.
Yeah.
Actually, I thought that was very good. Like the choice of weapon.
And now I understand why he turns his head when you move the camera. It's because you're shooting.
Yeah.
Always shooting forward, right? So that's really nice.
So could it even be impactful, complete, effective, and appealing?
I think it might be. I think they've. I think the only thing that would put me off that a little bit is that it is a very simple space. So I think it's not problematic, but it.
I think that can limit it from being sort of prize worthy. But I think we're at the point where what they've gone for, they have achieved. So I'm happy to put it into the excellent category for that reason.
I think so. It's very,
but
very
maybe
nice.
not further than that.
Yeah, and gameplay is so that's kind of interesting because. So what can I do? I've got my cue thing where I can interact.
That person is twitching.
Yeah, they're a bit twitchy. That's why I put that.
I mean,
up there
it works, but it is grim.
I mean, gameplay-wise, so I've got my ice breath and I've got my laser eyes. I can walk around. I can interact with things. I've got hiding under the table. I think again the problem is that I only do anything once, right? So I only interact with one thing, which is the keyboard. I only hide under one thing, which is the table. I've got the laser stuff, but the important thing is that I use ice breath on the guy with the detonator, and that's kind of it. So the elements are there, the mechanics are there, but the level design isn't. Does that make sense? It kind of They've not given me a space. I feel like I really want to go on to the next mission. Like really want to go on to the next mission. And because it has the capacity to be really fun, right? But it just feels like it's this very simple scenario, and it's therefore difficult to have all that kind of play. I am going to turn that music down actually.
is what we have with a fair few of these is quite a long sort of process. And kind of here we almost have the opposite. It's what they've gone for. They've done well, but it's it's
Very,
very
very
small.
short.
Yeah,
So,
short. There we
so
go.
I mean, the controls are all fine,
Yep.
and I think the mechanics are fine.
Yep. It doesn't
But
seem to have bugged out or anything.
I mean, but I would be. I mean, what would be at the good level?
Engaging. A reasonably complex game with multiple mechanics, smooth controls, may still have very minor bugs. The mechanics do seem to be smooth. There are a few of them. You only use them the once each, which is kind of the
Yeah.
shame here.
And
But
so
what there
so
is has been well executed.
so the question is, does it count as a complex game?
That is the thing. I'm not sure it does.
Satisfactory
I
game.
mean, satisfactory there would be playable. A simpler game with fewer mechanics, usable controls may have some minor bugs. The problem isn't
Yeah.
the usability of the mechanics, it is the complexity of the game. And I
Yeah.
think that it pays off once and really well, and that
Yeah.
is that you
Yeah.
freeze a guy and it doesn't do the bomb. I think that's like a lovely bit of mechanical interplay, and then there's
Yes.
some bits. Um,
Yeah.
so possibly between the two.
I think so. I think just to reflect the fact, and it's not even it's not really limited mechanics. It's just limited use of mechanics.
Mm.
I said that
Yeah,
it's the
even
level
like a
design.
couple more rooms for you to
Yeah.
navigate in terms of hiding under things
Yeah.
and like
Give me
waiting
give me
for
some.
guards and stuff.
Yeah. Give me some people to shoot that are far off. Give me
Yeah.
give me some other scenarios when I might want to use my ice breath to freeze somebody.
Mm.
Um, I yeah, I think that's the
Or
thing.
something if there'd been if like my mind would have been something like this is such because it is actually a really cool idea for a mechanic having that kind of ice breath and having it have this effect on the world. Maybe something like if there had been like a pool of water on the floor and someone slipped, something like that.
Seems
Um,
to do much.
and
I was hoping to freeze the bomb.
this is
I've
kind of
just
the other thing is that it doesn't appear that you can die.
That's kind of fun though, because it gives you a kind of it becomes a puzzle, right? This is a
That's
this is
yeah.
this is basically a puzzle game. It's like,
Yeah,
how
and I
do I
mean, you
get
are a
through this?
superhero, so it is right that they can't kill you.
That's a really clever way of doing it. How do you make a
Mm,
game with an invulnerable superhero? It's like you make it a puzzle game. How do you solve these conundrums and get people out and
mm.
that works really well. But yeah, okay, let's move on. So
So,
what have we got?
yeah, so to the story engine, game world to story. How does the game world impact the story?
Right. So we do have some impact. So obviously, I've taken an action here. I've incautiously murdered everybody indirectly,
And now you're going to
and
get told
and
off.
and the guy reacts to that, right? But that
Yeah.
is it. So again,
Mm,
we've got a very simple setup where there's essentially I go in, I interact, and I get a kind of a narrativized outcome. So this is like
mm-hmm,
almost like a summary of what I've done, but just turned into a
mm-hmm,
narrative, right?
mm.
It's effective and it works, but it's just again it's just one instance.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. I guess your interactions in this room kind of affect what happens in the next room in that it's which in that there's a guard that comes to you. So there is a little bit there, sort of.
so I suppose you're making the argument that the part of the story is this bit, right? Where the
Yeah.
guard comes in.
Or other,
Stands
yeah,
at
I
the
guess
door.
I guess I'm making the argument that if this guy comes in here now and you fight with him here now, it affects who's there for you to fight in the next room. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I suppose. So I suppose you could argue that if some of this is done in game by
mhm,
having the guards come to investigate, and they did have that, there was that bit where they yelled out, go and find out what he's done, kind of thing.
mm,
So that's a narrative piece that's in response to my. So I think there's one or two places where the story responds to your actions in the game, but again it
yeah,
suffers because it's just so small, right?
yeah.
Guy hasn't
So
done his thing yet.
if there
Oh
are,
no.
oh, there we go.
Unfortunately, I lasered him, so I think he's just going to explode. Oh no, it's just a shame I can't laser his arm off or something. You know.
It is a shame you can't laser his arm off. I bet you'd
Right,
love to
okay.
do that. Hmm?
Laser eyes novice. No. Straighting. Yeah. Okay. So we've got one or two examples basically. But
Yeah,
it's
so
just very
a
quite limited.
pass would be that there are a few sparse or minor examples of this, whereas a satisfactory would be some examples of where the game world impacts the story.
So we have two.
And we've counted maybe two.
So maybe yeah, I think that's probably feels more like a pass, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's fair. I don't think we can argue that, sparse is more than one
Yeah.
or two rather. Um,
I don't think of other ways
so
I might solve this puzzle. But I don't think there are any other solutions.
mm,
What if I? Oh, we'll see what happens if I do something random. So if I come in here, freeze all the hostages.
and leave.
Do you think if I freeze them, if I blow the guy up, do you think that just kills the hostages?
I'm thinking yes.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, this man's in my way. Oh no. Sorry.
Excuse me, pardon me. Excuse me, sir.
5. Actually, I don't think I can get out now. Go through
Viscera.
this door. Go through this doorway. Go out that way. Um,
Meanwhile, story to game world.
the story to game world. What are the story choices I'm making?
So
I'm making mechanical choices about how to solve them,
yeah,
but there's no dramatic story as such. It's
yeah,
essentially a narrativized summary of the game.
it's the same kind of issue of narrative isomatics, which is a shame because those mechanical choices do feel meaningful, and they do affect
Yeah,
like some degree of narrative there, in whether you're doing it stealthy. So as far as I can tell, like your ways of doing things are stealthy, murder everyone, stealthy, don't murder everyone, or smash and grab, um, but don't murder everyone, and smash and grab do murder everyone. So that's sort of four things, and they only really and they
yeah.
result in those kind of outcomes. Um, and that's not like a huge amount of difference there. Um, and the story, whether that's the story impacting the game, like you don't see a lot of consequences again. It feels like there is the seeds of what would be consequences from these freezing brothers laser things, and they do work, but they aren't given a huge amount of space to develop.
So, so we're talking about so this is story decisions, story to gameplay.
Yes.
So if we were being really strict, we'd say there are no story decisions,
Mm,
right? There's only gameplay decisions. At no point am I interacting with the drama, right?
mm,
Other than indirectly through my actions.
mm.
Um, so I think if we were being generous, we would say interacting through your actions, and we would say in that case your choices are essentially whether or not to harm the hostages or not. That's about it, right?
Yeah.
But again, it's just that one place, and it seems very simplistic. So what would a pass be? We can think about that a
Pass,
bit.
but that would be a few sparse or minor examples of where the story impacts the game world.
Or B.
Um, and a poor would be some support for story elements in the game, but the story has no real impact on the game world.
I think maybe we could go halfway between the two to reflect the
Mm,
diegetic choice you make here.
yeah, because it
Um,
is, as you say, it is they kind of are there, but it is all diegetic. And that's not it's not bad to have diegetic choices, but these are only diegetic choices.
yeah.
So yeah, I think halfway between is fair.
Well, if I stood on it, maybe that would have no. It doesn't have an effect. Oh dear.
So that brings us to agency. Um, there are definitely interesting choices, but
This
there's
man in the doorway.
there's not that many interesting choices, unfortunately.
Well,
Um,
again, it is a difficult thing where they've aligned the kind of the moral choice with the they've made it diegetic.
mm,
Um, is there a choice? So they, you again, if you were being super generous, you'd say, right, I have a choice about whether to go in the back or the front. Doesn't
mm-hmm,
ultimately make an awful lot of difference, right?
mm-hmm.
Certainly doesn't make any difference to the kind of narrative. This guy doesn't say, "Oh, the stealth guy," and so maybe if basically my appraisal was based on the choice I made at the beginning. So the
Mm-hmm.
stealth one is like, okay, well, how successfully stealthy were you? Front and assault would be, well, how much mayhem and impact did you have? Something like
Mm,
that, just to kind of make,
mm.
because that first choice isn't really consequential, other than choosing a level effectively.
Yeah.
And that's problematic. So that's the first choice. The second choice is then, do I shoot the guy or use my breath on him? But that's really a mechanical choice, right?
Mm.
I mean, that's no different than in a shooter lobbing a bomb or shooting with a laser weapon or something,
Yeah.
right? With on the left or right mouse button, and I'm making a mechanical joystick, and I may or may not kill the hostages. I'm really struggling with this. I kind of feel that we're sort of um, they're very limited, right? And your agency is
Yeah.
very limited.
Which is yeah. I do feel it's a shame because I feel like yeah there are definitely attempts for it to be an interesting grey sort of zone, but it doesn't quite come off, I'm afraid. And I'm sort of thinking
Yeah,
about like how would that look and develop, and I think it would be how you said that the stealth thing is only really adding one extra level. If going in the front had like some kind of almost like a media frenzy response where
yeah.
you can see that your name is in the papers and stuff, then that would be a much more developed world that you're seeing with more developed consequences. But because it's just, the guy doing a summary at the end, it does limit it.
As if I walk through and then turn the lights off. Does that work? Does it literally make no difference?
Hmm?
Yeah. So where were we with that? What was the?
So a pass there would be some choices, but only a few are interesting choices. And a satisfactory would be a number of interesting choices.
I don't think we can be at that level. I just don't think there's enough
Yeah.
here. I think
Um,
I think if we were being super generous, we would say the choices are embedded in the gameplay, and okay, in the story engine, we ask them to differentiate between narrative and mechanical choices. But here, we might let them sort of say a pass is an appropriate response.
fair, fair.
I noticed that I couldn't interact there, by the way, having made this decision. What happens if
Ah,
I what happens
okay.
if I just kill these other people first with my laser eyes? Okay, how'd you like them apples? Nope, he's not interested. All right, let's go. Also, I've not been back without solving the problem. What happens if I do that?
Yeah, this is kind of a thing that people don't, that there is sort of a lack of response because of that. Oh, you could just leave in the middle.
Yeah,
Cool.
got
Okay.
bored.
Heroes don't abandon the mission.
My laser eyes on him.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Um,
What's next?
Pacing.
Mm.
I think
Uh,
there is some ascending pacing, but
do
and
you?
it can lead to an explosion, but it doesn't.
There's no pacing. Look, I've just walked into the room.
That's true.
There's a
Okay, yeah, fair
guy.
enough.
Um,
If there's pacing, I feel like there's pacing if you go the stealth route.
just kill everybody. I walk through. There's no pacing.
And leave. Okay, yeah, no, fair enough. Okay.
So your argument is if I go the stealth route, there's pacing because there's the bit, and then I go into the climate. Okay, I will be very generous and say yes. That does represent a step up. If you go, and like you said, actually, if you'd gone in the front, and if the
Mm-hmm.
front had been like a lobby where there was lots of people that you had to like take out who were like difficult to shoot or something,
Mm-hmm.
and then and then you came to this, then yes. So all right, so we have kind of uneven pacing depending on which
Yeah,
route
I
you
think
take.
I think I think uneven is about right.
So
So
what would a pass be?
that would be about that. Would be pacing unclear or flat. And I think because you can just walk in and kill everyone and walk out and that still succeed, that does definitely leave it a bit flat. But
Yeah,
then if you do it sneaky stealth mode the first time, it can be,
yeah,
there can be
a
some
little bit
degree
more.
of
Yeah,
tension rising.
yeah,
So I would put that as a pass, I guess.
I think so.
Story techniques.
So the story techniques I think are pretty good actually because we've got the dialogue obviously
Hmm.
here, and we also have I've gone in the front entrance now, but we have the scripted scenes, right? We've got
Oh
sort
yeah,
of these bits here, but I've also got the thing where the guy comes in and there's some a bit of, and there's sort of environmental storytelling going on as well. Like if
yeah.
you look around here, you can see what's going on. Got the dead
Yeah, I mean, I like
policeman.
that there is a woman looking after her kid, and there's people like huddled in fear. There's all just a
Yeah,
lady reading a book.
yeah, that's
Um,
interesting. But the lady taking the mobile phone thing is kind of cool.
that is
So
kind of cool.
so
You can
I,
imagine
I
you can imagine what she's up
so
to.
I think we've got again. There's not a lot of story to tell, but they have done it pretty well.
Hmm.
So what would a good be for?
A good there would be successful use of more than one game writing technique. Um, an excellent there would be and mechanics support the theme. I'm 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 not sure which theme this is, so I'm just going to check that.
Say it was based on the story. Do not blow up women and children, possibly.
Um,
Can I kill him now?
because you could argue that it's, you could
Can't kill him.
you could argue a kind of tortoise and the hare kind of vibe, because it's about speed or stealth or oh it is, yeah, it's the tortoise and the hare, where slow and
Yeah,
steady
yeah.
is deemed more effective.
Is it? Just walk in the front and freeze the guy.
Yeah,
That's perfectly effective, right? Um,
yeah. There
okay,
isn't really
so
like a point system to say how well you've done. It's just you're in or you're out.
I should have some better objectives or something. Yeah, okay. So I think that probably puts it at the good level, but
Cool.
still that's done well.
Yeah, yeah. Great. And then finally, the feedback. Um,
Great.
so the feedback that they received, one of our responses was about adding better player feedback for the hostages and their status, dead or alive. From this, we added an icon system in the top left corner of the screen. Each hostage now has
Yep.
their own icon that turns red with the skull when they die, or blue when they're frozen. This makes it easy to keep track of who's alive and adds some weight to your decisions during the game. For clear objectives, we also added a main objective display in the top right corner. It updates as you play, so you always know what to do next. This keeps things straightforward without breaking immersion. What I call the Grand Theft Auto, the quest log
Yeah.
breaker.
Yeah.
We also added a help screen at the start of the game to explain the controls better. Oh, that was successful. You were a fan of that one. The player can pull it up anytime by pressing H. A quick
Yeah.
way
There
to
we go.
check all the inputs. Great for anyone who might not be familiar with the mechanics. So yeah,
I think that's all good feedback. I unfortunately for them, I don't think it addresses the main problem they have for the game,
yeah,
which is the sheer number of the size of the kind of interaction space, which is really small.
mm, mm,
But I think it all works. All the things they've done there work. I think the thing at the top showing all the host. If they weren't all clustered together, it would be more effective, right? So again,
mm,
if I was making my way through a
mm,
building and I could lose some along the way, you know,
yeah,
and you can imagine a really nice puzzle where it's like, how do you navigate this building and get from the start to the end while
mm-hmm,
saving all the hostages, right?
mm-hmm,
And every time you make the run, you learn something new about what's going on and how it works, and it becomes a kind of interesting puzzle box experience, right?
yeah,
That would have been really effective, and again, you can imagine the hostages there being like being a really nice way of showing your progress through the mission, they get ticked off, as it were, as you save them.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah,
finding like if you had some
yeah,
kind of interface saying whether you found a hostage, freed
yeah,
a
yeah,
hostage, etc.
yeah.
A hostage is safe, a hostage is dead, etc. And some kind of difficult moral choices about that, or moral outcomes about how many you've managed to save. Yeah.
So
But the changes they have made, I think they've made successfully.
so that would
Yeah,
be, I
it's
presume,
not.
that's sort of the good sort of level. Is that right?
Yeah, I would say that's on the good level. You know, they've addressed the feedback that was, and the changes have been successful.
Okay. So final thoughts. What do you think?
Final thoughts. I think that there's definitely like a core fun in this.
Yeah.
The sheer joy of laser eyeing your way through was clearly
Yeah.
great. The story is, as you say, very short, and because of that, there's not a huge amount of room for narrative development, and I think that's where some of the flaws have come through. But I think in terms of what they set out to do in terms of creating the boys style goody slash baddie, morally corrupt superhero thing, I
Yep.
think they have actually succeeded there, where it's quite splatty, which is fun and cool.
Yeah. Thematically, they've really nailed it, and the
Yeah.
mechanics are really fun. I just wish there was more levels.
Mm.
I don't even want that much. I said you could imagine a much more complex experience, but it doesn't need to be that much more complex, right? Just some
You
other
just want more
scenarios
opportunities to laser things.
and more opportunities to laser things and blow things up. Yeah, definitely. But I mean, it looks great, and they've nailed that kind of golden thing about the actual mechanic. When a mechanic is that much fun, right?
Mm,
That's just gold. I mean, you could run
absolutely.
and run with that, right?
Yep.
So it's a shame in a way that they've not had time to develop the level in order to
Mm.
exploit that more. But hands off to them for nailing the mechanic. They've done that in an absolutely fantastic way.
Yeah, great job with that one, guys.
That was our last game, so we will see you again in the next video.
Absolutely.